All right. Well, speaking of the upcoming season, my girl, Iya Lindahl, she asks, can you make a list of eligible women's blockers for the 2021 season? Asking for a friend.
Man, I was out on the beach with Ben Vaught this morning, and he was like, Ben Vaught's the gossip queen of the AVP, and he always listens. So, Benny, you're a big gossiper, but he was asking like what if I'd heard anything about the partnership shuffles, but I've only been practicing like once a week, really with the same group of guys every time. So I haven't heard anything, but I think that every women's defender who isn't locked in should be texting or direct messaging Taryn Cloth and asking if she's what her plans are. I don't think you've seen her play, but she's this like 6'4" blocker who played indoor at Creighton, and now she's playing at LSU. And she played with Kristen Nuss this summer at a bunch of AVP necks and little tournaments around the country, and they did not lose one set.
I was gonna say they crushed it. Yeah,
they like smoke bombing teams, and they were playing good teams. Like they beat Kelly Kalinsky and Emily Stockman, like dominated whole match, like 21-15, 21-17 maybe. They beat Delaney and Katie. They were cruising. And Taryn is just this like 6'4", really mobile, really athletic blocker, sets well, moves well. Like if you're a women's defender and you're eligible, hit up Taryn Cloth.
She hasn't had to go through Savvy yet, though.
So I have not played her. I am hoping we can play LSU.
You played Kristen and Claire Coppola, right?
Yeah, and they were so good. Me, I played with Abby this year, and I know they were always kind of playing, like had a good game against the twins from UCLA as well. And so me and Abby came into it and knew they were super. I mean, they'd won like 100 games. They played together since freshman year. We beat them once, and they beat us twice, and we were hoping to get another chance at a national championship or at like an East meets West tournament hosted by UCLA, and we didn't, unfortunately. But I've never played Taryn, and she was playing, I think, in the 3s or 4s for LSU. I think in the 4s.
Yeah.
And just crushing it. And she partners up with Kristen, and they're crushing it. And so I think, transitioning from an indoor player, and I haven't seen her play a ton. I'm just kind of assuming, but I feel like they put her in a lower line. She's transitioning from an indoor player, and then she plays all summer and is absolutely crushing it. Like she's just going like this. And so it's actually really cool to see. As much as there are rivals, I actually really like a lot of the LSU really good volleyball. And so hopefully we can play against them, and I'd love to play against her. She's legit, and they're a legit partnership. And if Kristen goes back with Claire, that's awesome too. It's another great game, but I think you're right that she's the new up and coming blocker if she sticks with it, because she's gnarly. Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, on a more established basis too, I mean, we don't know like what Emily Day is going to do. And for that matter, we don't know what Betsy's going to do. I mean, who knows if the AVP starts in May, like, I don't know how long it takes a mom to come back from having a kid, but I don't think Betsy would be too far off the mark. So there's Emily Day, Betsy, Chrissy Jones. I don't know what her plans are. There's like a fair amount of shuffling that could happen. Like where does Sarah Hughes go? Mm-hmm. So there's all kinds of partnership questions on the women's side.
It's exciting for someone like me,
coming
out of it. I mean, I'm kind of someone like Iya, who's been, I think she lives in the South Bay. Goes to LMU, but she's kind of inched her way into that training block. And I mean, she's the best at it. Iya is like the best at asking people to play, and is so into it. And when she asks me to play, it's hard. Like I hate saying no if I've got something to do, because she always gets really good girls. But for people like us, this is a really good time to start inching our way, into that level if that's what we want to do. And it's scary because you don't know what people are doing. It's hard to reach out to people coming from a college level and making the leap of faith, kind of like, how do I do this? Do I just DM a girl that doesn't even know who I am? Like, what do I do? And so it might be easier reaching out to like a Taryn or someone like that is on my level and we know each other, versus me reaching out to someone else, maybe Chrissy Jones. But I think it's important for people our age to start making those connections, because if that's what we want to do, this is a great year to do it because, like you said, things are shuffling all over the place. So it's exciting. It's nerve-wracking, but we'll see how it goes. We have a couple months, but we'll see.
Yeah. And then you got a couple others for you, Iya, if you're searching. I mean, I don't know, like, is Carissa Cook locked in? Jace Pardon, is she locked in? Jess Gaffney, Therese Cannon. Savvy, if you want to try the old UCLA USC partnership. I think Therese, because I don't know if her and Kelly Reeves are staying together. So there's a lot. There's no shortage of options that there could be a lot of tryouts going on this spring.